So, Rich, welcome to the podcast. Thank you so much for coming on.
I really appreciate it, man. Thanks for inviting me.
It's our 50th one.
It literally is, by the way. It is my 50th. I was just saying to Jeremy before starting, this is my 50th episode recording. I only worked it out. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Mate, unbelievable. Congratulations.
Thank you. Well, I mean, you know the work that goes in. That's the thing, is you know the work that goes in
indeed,
and
yeah.
the consistency necessary to do these things.
Yes.
And I'm right at the beginning of it still.
Yeah.
And I mean, what do you reckon your 50th piece of content was?
Oh, it would have been a football video.
Yeah.
It probably, if I looked at it now, I wouldn't think it was very good.
Really?
You know how it is.
I
You're
do.
always self-developing.
Do you look back at earlier bits of content and like, you know, do you cringe, or do you think, do you know what, I can see exactly how I've improved?
Combination. So sometimes you cringe. Like, we're all human.
Yeah.
You look back at certain things, you're gonna cringe. Other times you look back and you think, you know what? For its time, it was actually good.
Yeah.
Just depends.
God, it was early on, wasn't it? We're talking like early on in YouTube time, kind of.
Yeah.
There wasn't your Mr. Beasts who put these kind of, you know, templates out there for you to almost, you know, see. Okay, well, he does that with the thumbnails and that with, you know, you had to pick that up yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you remember? I'm going to go back to Britain's Got Talent. I don't want to talk about young Jeremy in a minute.
Oh, you speak about cringing.
Oh, listen.
I cringe at this one. I cringe at the VGT stuff.
So yeah, we're talking about a young you. You know, you're 20 years old.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first thing you said, except for your name, on that Britain's Got Talent stage? So Amanda Holden's just said, "How are you gonna make a difference? Yeah, this is sporting talent that comes on here. How are you gonna turn this from sport to entertainment?" Do you remember what you said?
I do, but I cringe.
You said,
I said, watch me.
"Just watch me.
Just watch
me. You shouldn't cringe
Yeah.
because we're here. Christ, what was that? 2008. So we're here. You know, quick maths. You know, like what's that? 16 years later.
Something like that.
So, no, 17 years later. 17 years later.
Yeah.
I think how many millions and millions of people have just watched you. You know, I think how many people have watched that content you put out, and you've only got better and better.
That's true.
Over
I appreciate
time.
that. Thank you.
So you did get to the semi-finals. I think it's important to say.
I did, and then I produced potentially the biggest car crash TV moment ever in Britain's Got Talent history.
I watched it again last night. It wasn't that bad, mate. I remember watching it live.
It was
actually,
quite bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I dropped
it, like,
the ball 2 or 3 times. Ball rolled off the stage.
The ball rolled. That was an early thing.
That was a tough one. Do you know what? My head was gone as soon as that ball rolled off that stage.
I bet it would.
And someone had to throw it back. My head was already gone.
You're in the biggest moment of your life on live TV. Let's not forget, in 2008, this is the biggest thing on TV. It
Yes.
still is. Like, possibly it still is. But by millions of people. Millions of people watching. 20, we forget how young 20 is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Don't we?
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
I mean, I had my first kid when I was 18, so I definitely know how young you are at 20 and how quickly you have to then step up. But that moment, you know, I felt for you. But it's funny, in your first interview, your first audition, Simon, do you remember what he called it? He's like, "You're cocky, you're arrogant." Piers Morgan turned to Simon and went, "Does that sound like somebody we know?" And I thought, I guess the question to you is, how much of that was youthful bravado, and how much of that is necessary even today? That kind of belief in yourself. I don't think it's cocky.
Oh, there was I definitely wasn't cocky internally. I was more the other way.
Really?
More.
So do you think it was like
anxious, maybe insecure, and you know when people they convey that in the form of what can be perceived as a cockiness, because you try to overcompensate. And the big thing for me was, I knew, obviously you look back and you think, oh, I was a kid, I didn't know anything. But I did know that if I'm going to have any chance of the audience enjoying this stage performance, I need them to believe that I am fully confident in myself. If they sense any lack of confidence or uncertainty, it's going to be maybe a bit of an uncomfortable watch for them, and they won't be able to just fully enjoy it. So I wanted to convey uber confidence. And then that can be misinterpreted as cockiness.
What did you feel at the time?
Like
before walking out onto that stage, what were you thinking?
Petrified.
Did you have your family with you?
I did. But I was, do you know, I look back and I massively overreached. So I could have coasted through that semi-final and done a routine that was super comfortable for me. And because it was...
You basically did a 6-step with the ball in your foot.
I was trying skills
Yeah.
and tricks that I was messing up in rehearsals.
Right.
So before you do the lives, you have rehearsals. You do quite a lot of rehearsals.
Yeah.
And I was the only person who messed up every time in rehearsal. I know. Obviously, as grown men, we look at that and go, okay, you might need to tweak something here.
In your head, like youthful exuberance and all that, you're thinking, do you know what? It'll be all right on the night.
Exactly those words. In my head, I thought, nah, I'm a big game player. I'm going to step up. When it matters most, it'll be all right on the night.
Yeah.
And I'll get that extra adrenaline boost. And I'm going to perform under the lights. And I did exactly what I was doing in rehearsals. Messed up. It was so silly, so young and naive.
Because Piers and Simon buzzed you pretty much at the same time.
They did.
How did that impact you on the stage? Did you feel it?
Oh, I felt it through to my soul, man.
Stab.
As you're trying to keep your composure, and I'm already my head's gone because the ball's rolled off the stage, and I'm trying to regather my composure, and then as I'm trying to do that, it's like you know those movies where they're getting shot. And I'm still trying to stay in the game. It was awful. The only saving grace was Amanda let me complete the performance.
She both let you complete, and then she said, like, you know, this is, I can't remember exactly what she said. It was like, basically, this is the biggest moment of his life. Like, you know, amazing for him, like, well done for him for carrying on. You know, and that's, you said something similar. It was like, look, you know, what are you going to do? You're going to fall over and not get back up? No, I tried. I kept going. Yeah. And that's it's an enormous lesson in front of millions of people.
Yeah, exactly that. I was truly devastated after that.
How were you at? Like for how long are we talking? Because what were you doing for a living at the time?
I just started doing the football tricks for money, and that was sort
as in like busking.
I did some busking. Yeah. That was my job at the time, but it was very inconsistent. There wasn't any stability in the income. Jobs would come in dribs and drabs. You might have a good month, and you might have two bad months. I didn't have hardly any money. I was just happy for whatever I could.
You still at home at the time?
Absolutely, yeah.
Let's talk about that. What was home life like for you? Like young Jeremy.
I was actually very shy.
Yeah?
Very shy. Home life was good. I got an older brother and two sisters.
Okay, so one of four.
Yeah, one of four.
Yeah.
I'm a middle child.
So you're the second?
Second.
I'm the second as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I think it gives you a little bit. It gives you like, okay, well, he'll beat the shit out of me if I step
my brother. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Right.
And kickboxing.
Okay.
And he's bigger than me and exponentially stronger than me as well.
And you know it, and he'll let you know.
Actually, he's built quite like you, like that really strong frame. I bet you're very strong.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I don't want to go on about it, but you know, it's funny when you're kids in your gym. It's like, how much do you bench?
Yeah.
How much do you bench? Yeah. And it's like, you know, it's like, well, you know. But no, mine was all for rugby, mate. I thought I'd be a rugby player.
Yeah.
Wasn't quite good enough. That was honestly for me. Upbringing wasn't good. Generally, when you come from a poorer background and like violence and all that around you, like it's such a trope, but sport's the thing that's going to get you up and out.
Yeah.
You know, for me, it was like, you know, I was 2 left feet, shit at football. So I was like, but I'm big. Yeah. So I was okay at rugby, you know, I was okay. And like, you know, almost not quite good enough, you know, and I think that was a big moment for me when I was like 18.
All rejections are going to hurt, especially when you're young. It's kind of amplified. As you get older, you realise it's a natural part of life.
Yeah, very true.
And often one door closes because another one's going to open that you're meant to go through. But when you're younger, you don't maybe have as much wisdom or life experience as you acquire over time. And every rejection hurts.
Did you have good people around you?
Yeah, my family, great people. Always super supportive.
What kind of upbringing was it? Like quite a solid, stable?
Solid, stable, extremely strict.
Strict? How strict are you talking? Is this what taught you the discipline you have?
Top tier strict.
Talk to me about top tier strict.
What do you want to know?
What do I want to know? Like when you think back and you think, oh, was it your mum, your dad, both?
Oh, tag team. Yeah.
So was there a good cop, bad cop vibe going?
Nah, no weak links, man.
No?
They were both on job.
4 kids is a lot of kids, you know, as I well know.
Yeah.
You know?
But it did instill a very strong sense of discipline, which has served me well throughout my life.
Yeah.
And stays with me to this day.
And I mean, you go at things and you go at them hard, right? And that's not just like, me blowing smoke. It's like you can see when you throw yourself at something, you really, again, you said maybe I overreached. I'd say good that you did. Like you're like, I overreached. I tried to do too much. You're in a semi-final of the biggest show on TV. If not to overreach, then when? To try when?
My heart was in the right place.
Absolutely.
But there's a point where working smart needs to be the move, and that's what I didn't do.
That comes with wisdom, man. You can't just know that.
And it was just a simple little bit of advice that if maybe I had, I don't know, like a mentor type figure there to watch me rehearse, older guy.
Who was there around you?
I don't think anyone was there for rehearsals. I think that was just me.
And I'm sure it's changed now, but what was the Britain's Got Talent kind of support team like? Was there anybody around you saying, hey man, you're still a young guy, like, you are up in front of millions, how do we look after you? Because this is something I know they've had to get better with over the time on TV.
Yeah, let me try and remember. To be fair to them, I think some of the production team did come up to me in between rehearsals and say, "You okay? Everything okay? You fine with all of this?" They certainly didn't pressure me or push me into doing that routine. That was all me. I take full accountability and full responsibility for the way I chose to approach that.
Have you tried to do it, or did you try to do it after, or did you just leave it there, consign it to history, or did you ever try to redo it just to hit the marks?
What do you think?
I think you tried to do it, and I think you nailed it.
You got to conquer that.
Good man.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, a boxer or
nobody saw you do it, did they?
Loses. No, I did though. That was all that I needed.
I knew it. I knew for a fact that you would have done that.
Yeah. You have to.
Because otherwise, that's what your memory of it is, the failure.
Yeah, you got to defeat Goliath and then move on to the next Goliath. That's it.
Talking about upbringing, strict. You play piano. I play piano as well.
Do you?
I do.
No way.
But I started when I was 30. You started when you were 4.
I did, yeah.
How was that? And you talk about discipline and strictness of your parents. Were they quite strict with your practice, or were you strict with your practice?
No, so I had no classical teaching or training with the piano. My dad used to play a little bit. Still plays.
What kind of style?
He liked a bit of jazz.
Yeah.
He liked a bit of jazz.
That's every time I'm working in my office, I go, background jazz. Yeah. That's exactly background piano jazz.
Oh,
that's
mate,
literally.
He loved Jazz FM, Jazz 102.2. It was in the car every day on the way to school.
Yeah. Or blues pianos. I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to learn, because I can play pretty well, but blues is the thing I'm trying to get into now.
Oh,
love it.
I like pretty much all genres except for the heavy metal type stuff. Yeah,
I can appreciate it, the heavy metal stuff. The musicality is it's quite impressive what they do.
Do you know what I mean, though? The extreme
the screaming
head-banging, screaming stuff. You like that?
No. I'm not. It's not my thing, but I can appreciate it from a musical perspective. I'm like, I couldn't do that. Most people I know couldn't do that. The screams aren't easy, and typically these are like operatically trained people. Like what's his name from Slipknot? Corey Taylor, is it? He's like a classically trained singer, and a phenomenal singer at that.
Yeah,
but
and he chooses to. Wow. It disturbs me. Yeah. It's like the frequencies don't agree with what my frequencies, and it actually makes me feel really uncomfortable.
I think they'd probably be quite happy to hear that.
They probably would. That's probably what they're going for.
That's what I want. Practice-wise, were you super dedicated to piano? And was that the first thing you really dedicated yourself to?
Piano and football simultaneously. Really? I used to practice both every day, but there was no pressure from the parents to practice either. I just I've always loved skill learning and trying to self-develop and improve at different skill sets. And my dad gave me a good head start with the piano by teaching me the basics. He was self-taught. He had never had a piano lesson in his life. Don't think he ever has to this day.
Really?
There were lots of gaps in my knowledge and music education. And as I got older, I started to identify
all the bits that you might be flubbing a little bit.
And gaps, and start to fill them in via YouTube tutorials and ramping up the practice.
What sort of things do you play?
So I do this thing on my stories where I like to just open it out, and I ask people on my Instagram, name any song request, and I'll do my best to try and play it. on the fly, and I really enjoy that because I would say I've been blessed with a gift of playing by ear, so I can hear a song once and
it's an incredible
play it.
gift. It really. I mean, my partner, she's a grade 8 classically trained piano teacher as well.
Yeah.
Like she's able to do what you just said. Like, you know, if I'm like, hey, can you help me play this? She's like, and I'm like, how do you do that? And she's just like, I just know the melody. I can just hear it, and then I work the chords out based on that, and then it's such a beautiful talent. So I'm endlessly impressed, and I have heard you play. I've seen you play. Like, you're bloody good, man. So have you ever had lessons?
No, I've never had.
Literally never one lesson.
No, but there's a really valuable lesson in that, I think, and it's that people think you need a professional to teach you how to do something. You need to take lessons, but the world's changed. We've now got a wealth and abundance of knowledge at our fingertips via the internet. And we can search up tutorials on near enough anything for free and get to a high level of competence at that particular skill just by watching free videos online. So that was the approach I took. And obviously studying music actively and listening to a lot of different types of music and practicing with discipline and with intention.
What does practice look like to you at the time?
Practice, often it's horrible.
Yeah. How long are you practicing for at that kind of younger age?
Depends on the phases of your life where you have more or less time. So, you know, some days you'd have a day off and you do like 6 to 8 hours and just really get in a flow with it. Other days you're just rushing around with life and work. But the key is to try to have no 0 days.
I've heard you talk about this. I like the concept of 0 days. It sounds quite an intense way of living a life, right? But it makes sense.
It makes sense because it's like incremental gains that compound over time. So every day I ask myself, have your fingers touched the keys? And if they haven't, then you know what you need to do. You need to make time.
And were you the same with football? Was it, you know,
course,
have I touched the football today?
Yeah, have my feet touched the ball today.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, so how much of football was self-taught versus you being coached by other
Most of
people?
it self-taught.
Yeah.
Again, I had minimal coaching when I was younger. I didn't have access to it. We didn't have money to afford private lessons, and I didn't play for a team until quite late, actually.
Right. So, how old were you when you first got into it?
12 when I played.
No way.
11-a-side football match.
That's incredible. So you were in secondary school. It was the same for me with rugby. I didn't play until that bit later, but that's quite a common thing with rugby. But like football, you know, you hear, you know, you see kids at like 7. I've seen some of your videos, like, you know, the mini Messi kid. Love the thumbnail. He looks like little Hercules. Good thumbnail. We'll talk about all of that, and we'll talk about talking about, like, you know, online learning and things. We'll talk about your course and things in a moment. Yeah. But you know, just the it's impressive to see even the videos of him, and I think a lot of people have seen that video, so I can talk about it with some.
You're talking about Arat.
Yeah, Arat. Yeah,
unbelievable.
Like him in his living room or whatever it is, on that carpet with his dad in the room, mate. I'm blown away by it.
They're relentless.
Yeah,
and it shows because his ability on the ball is incredible.
How old is he now? Do you know?
I'm not actually sure. I'll find out. I think he might be 12, 13.
Yeah. So that's the age that you started, you know, and then you made a career with football, having started effectively 11-a-side at 12. It's mind blowing when you think about it like that. Yeah. Because again, a lot of people start at his age or younger. They're drilling.
Yeah, I wish I would have loved it. No, my school didn't have a team.
Okay.
It was a small.
Where did you grow up?
Well, we moved about.
Right.
My school was in Hackney.
Yeah.
Before it was gentrified.
Oh.
So it was, you had to keep your head on a swivel. But yeah, we didn't have a playground and we didn't have a football team. So,
right.
I mean, if I showed you the little outside area of the school that I had to use to try to train and practice, I need to make a documentary on my childhood story, because people would be quite amazed at how tiny the space is. It's like a tiny little pavement with a fence next to the building. So it's just like, how would it be? Maybe 20 meters long, right, and 2 meters wide.
I think football's one of those wonderful sports.
Yeah.
And again, to compare it to rugby, it's not the same in that Who are some of the best with the ball at their feet in, like, in Brazil, or like, it's kids with nothing.
Yeah,
It's kids with, a tennis ball, and it's that great thing if you can do, because of the kind of sport it is, you can, I could play football with that bottle. Do you know what I mean? You can't do that with rugby in the same way. You can't get good at, like, tackling something or somebody.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Where, football, why is it world's number one sport? Because of that, I believe. The accessibility is there. So, you didn't have a lot to practice with, but look at what you're able to do as a direct result of it. So, jumping ahead a little bit, post Britain's Got Talent, you went on a run of football content.
Yes.
What did you learn while you were creating that content?
Many, many things. I always say, if you're paying attention, you can't avoid learning as you go through this journey of life, and that's the key. Is at every point, as long as you're paying attention, you're going to get lessons, and sometimes at times when you really don't expect them. But what we were talking about off camera before the podcast, about a lot of people thinking that motivation creates movement, but often it's movement that creates motivation, and you just need to get stuck in and take action, start taking steps and doing things, and you'll learn on the go, on the job. So
I think the fancy word for that's being autodidactic.
Is that the word for it?
It is, yeah, where you learn as you go.
Autodidactic.
Autodidacticism.
Autodidactic.
I've got a friend, he's like, Rich, at some point in most podcasts, you say a word that I hate you for, and that's going to be the one.
Autodidactic. I'm taking that. That's great.
It's yours.
Autodidactic. That's when you're learning.
It's when you're learning as you do, yeah. And lots of people learn like that, because we think about childhood and school, and you're sat down, you're taught how to pass tests in many situations. Lots of kids learn like that. The winner of The Apprentice, and he said, I know more millionaire plumbers and tradesmen than I know millionaire businessmen.
Interesting.
And it's because these people learn. They go on a job with their dads. They learn with their hands.
Yeah.
We don't all learn in the same way.
I've got a question for you on the autodidactic topic. Is it possible to not be autodidactic in some measure, to some degree?
I think so. I think, as you rightly just said, if you're exposed to it, you're learning.
I think it'd be a lot harder not to learn than to learn something.
Absolutely.
From doing.
I think you're absolutely right.
That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Which means exposure's everything. If you're not, and they talk about sport. It's it's about accessibility. It's about, like, the support that you have around you, opportunity, provision, and esteem. They're the three things. Cheers GCSE PE. Opportunity. Do you have the opportunity to do something well? Football, yeah. Usually, it's the world's biggest sport. It's England's national sport. Opportunities there. Provision. You need a ball and you need some mates, maybe. Like everybody's played Wembley. Everybody's jumpers for goalposts.
Yeah.
And esteem. Do you have people around you that pick you up, that teach you, that guide you, that And if that's not teammates, it's coaches. If it's not coaches, it's parents. So there is. If you're exposed to it, I think you're learning.
I think it's a lot harder not to learn than to learn. You'd have to be really paying attention to not paying attention.
You really would.
It's circular, I don't know.
But why don't kids pay attention in class?
Why do they?
Why don't they?
Why don't they?
Yeah.
Well, you're asking me to.
I'm asking you, yeah. Genuinely, why do you think it is? Because I think everybody would agree, and I've got one of my teachers, and I love her. She's wonderful. That listens to this and messages me about most episodes, and she's awesome. So I don't want to she's an art teacher, so she's great at colouring in. Have that, Megcroft.
Megcroft, have that. Shove that. I don't know if that's.
No. But what I think we can all agree that lots of kids learn differently. So what is it about? Like, were you quite academic, or?
I was, actually.
You were. So, yeah, what is it about kids in a room that prevents half of them, at least, from learning, do you think?
Off the top of my head, a few things come to mind. So the first would be the teaching style and format. It won't be optimal for how certain children learn best. There are different learning styles. I can't remember them all off the top of my head. Some are more kinesthetic, where they need to be touching and active and doing things. Others can sit down and listen and focus and learn in that way. And there's another one. I'm sure there's another one. Can't remember what it was. But so the learning style and format. Sorry, the teaching style and format would be one. look, kids can be going through all sorts in the home life, and that can affect focus and how much they're paying attention. Could be the topic might not be of interest to them. It could be some sort of, what's the word for it? The kid could have certain things, like they might have ADHD, or they might be autistic, or like there could be so many different things that affect how that child learns. What else would affect children? I'm trying to answer the question properly here.
No, I appreciate it, man. Because I think a lot of kids look up to you.
Distractions, friends, mates, distractions.
Yeah. How are you in a classroom in that sense? What do your friends say about you in a classroom?
Pretty focused, I think.
Yeah,
pretty focused, they'd probably say. And there's another one: distractions, diet.
Interesting.
Yeah.
No, you're not wrong.
Yeah. What children eat has a massive effect.
I forget the percentage now, but there's an enormous percentage of children in this country. We're the sixth richest country in the world that go to school hungry.
Yeah.
That leave school hungry.
So hunger and also eating certain types
and the
of
right
foods
things, right? Because
make it much harder for them to sit still and pay attention and lock in and focus.
Yeah.
I went a bit serious with that answer.
I appreciate it. No.
I'm trying to answer it. What is the actual answer to this, to my knowledge? Those things come to mind.
Again, I think learning plays a massive part in your, that learning as you do plays a massive part in your success, because you're iterative in your learning. Your social media learnings are, you get better and better. And you said to me before, and I made a joke, I'm right at the beginning of the journey still and learning. And, I don't want to pigeonhole myself and be, right, I'm a PR man, so therefore I don't know. I know bits of social media, but I'm learning from by watching. I'm learning by looking, by seeing people like yourself. But it's important to be open to learning, even at 38. What do I know? And that's this whole podcast for me is curiosity. Like curiosity and optimism. They're the two things. If I can get those things across, because you know so much that I don't know, and everybody else I sit with knows things that I don't know. Exactly.
You know so much that I don't know,
and that's a wonderful thing.
I think about this quite a lot. So imagine this: all of the knowledge in the universe, everything there is to know about everything. Now think how vast that is.
Yeah, mate, endless and wonderful.
It's pretty much infinite.
Yeah.
Now compare infinite to all of our individual knowledge.
Yeah.
What do we get? We get a reality that all of us mostly know nothing about anything.
Yeah. Less than 0.0001% of the things, right? Yeah.
No matter how much of a specialist or expert or master we are in our chosen or particular fields. So what that leaves is zero room to have any arrogance or pompousness about how much we know. Because have you heard that saying about, as the circle of knowledge increases, the circumference of darkness also increases? So the more you learn and the more you know, the more you become aware of what you don't know. I've messaged that to Roy yesterday.
Well, so is it this? It's not the Kruger effect, is it? There's a name for it, which is effectively the people that know the least are the people that think they know the most. I hope it's not artificially. I hope it doesn't come across fake in any way. I don't know anything, and I don't but I profess to want to know, and I want to learn, and that's the whole thing with this is, I could be sat across. I had a guy on. He works at Cambridge University. His whole job is looking at existential risk. What things might end civilization? That's his job.
Oh, that's a fun one.
Mate, it was one, and he's written a book called Goliath's Curse. Dr. Luke Kemp. He's also phenomenally good looking.
Right.
Like he looks like Superman. I'm like,
Okay.
I'm like, F you, man. Like, come on. God gave you everything. But he's this really awesome guy, and we're that he's just got this vast knowledge of absolutely everything to do with this one thing, and I was just like, I felt like I was like a kid just like rapt, just like, mate, keep talking, just say words at me,
So he's got a solid plan in his head of what he would
doing.
do in the event of an apocalypse.
I mean, 100%.
He must have it.
Yeah, we talked about that.
If that's his field.
Obviously, he works at Cambridge. He's like, so I did the Rogan, and I was like, aliens. I was like, aliens. How likely is it that we're getting, And he was like, next to nothing, Rich. Like, next to no likelihood. I don't spend any time thinking about it. It's like, come on, man, give me something.
There's a funny thing on aliens. So the minute that we discover, if there are aliens, the minute that we discover them, that there are, the minute that we discover that there are aliens, we instantaneously become aliens ourselves.
100%.
It's like
madness,
confirmed,
isn't it?
because, okay, if they're aliens to us, we inherently must be aliens to them.
I think about this a lot, and like, what does that do for like racism, and what does that do? Do we all just go, all right, you're all cool, you're all cool, what about them?
All right, I didn't like you before, but now that we're all aliens, not that bad.
Jump off the boat and join me. It's too close.
Yeah.
On that note, talking about curiosity and, you know, where we find ourselves kind of excelling and maybe giving all of our time to.
Yeah.
If you were speaking to my mum,
Right.
how would you describe what you do?
It's a hard one for me. That's actually a really hard one for me to say. What do I do? So And
it's evolved over time.
It has. I try to add value to as many people as I can in whatever I'm doing. That's one way of putting it. I'm a content creator, a musician, I'm a producer, I'm a father, I'm a husband. And then there's lots of different styles of content that I do. So I'm an editor. I edit all my own short form.
I was so surprised when I heard you say that.
Yeah.
That you edit all your short form, because obviously I'm editing short form now.
Right.
Got Eddie, my editor, who does the long form edits, and Jesus Christ, I need him. Most of my notes to him are, Eddie, can you please make me sound less stupid, please? Literally, I'm not even joking. It's like, I think at this point, I'm just like, less stupid, full stop,
mate.
send.
My feedback on myself, if I'm ever having to feedback to editors, is brutal.
Yeah, I'm so, it's that funny thing of, you know, you'll never be as horrible as you are to yourself to any other human being on the planet.
Oh, yeah.
It's that self-criticism.
I look like a twat here. Can we cut this
Literally.
out? I sound like an idiot here. Let's just cut this.
Yeah. Like, you are so right. But I'm doing the short form stuff, and I mean, it feels like a good time to ask then, without giving away your course.
Right.
You know, if you got somebody that's brand new to it, what are the few things that they need to be thinking when they start doing short form content, from an editing perspective, from a filming perspective?
Few tips when you're doing short form content. So the first one is, don't overthink things and take action. Don't let perfectionism paralyze you. Get comfortable with the idea that you're probably not going to be great at first, just like with any other skill. But the more you do it, the better you'll get. Mr. Beast is famous for many things. One of them, his quote about, talk to me after you've made 100 videos, and then we'll look at your progress and what you're doing, and we'll analyze what
Did you see that video he sent to himself the other week?
Is it from when he's really young?
Yeah, it was like 10 years ago or something. He's like, I hope I have 1 million subscribers. If I don't have 1 million subscribers in 10 years' time, I've wasted my life.
Yeah.
And, well, I mean, you probably know better than I do. What's he at now? Like,
I would, mate. If I say the number today, I'm sure by the time this podcast is out, it'll be wrong.
Yeah, right.
So far.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
But I just love that kind of self-belief and that.
Yeah, and that discipline and consistency, and the obsession. He is obsessed with his craft.
To a point where, I don't know if you listened to him on Rogan at all. He doesn't do many podcasts as well.
I intend
it was a while back, like, and he Rogan kept trying to take him. So, what's your favorite film? What do you know? And he's like, if it's not on YouTube and it's not to do with YouTube, I don't care. It was just. I was like, that's a man. You know, like, that's such a. Like SpongeBob, right? You watched SpongeBob?
I've watched
right.
SpongeBob.
There's an episode where he I should say, this is nothing to do with my kids, I just love it. Where he gets kind of hypnotized to remember his name and fine dining. Right? And that's what I think Mr. Beast's done. He's like, you know, listen, my name and edit and videos. That's it. Like, literally, that's all I know. That's all I need to know. Yeah. And it's amazing at this point. Like, the money doesn't seem to even be of interest to him. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's a challenge to him to see how good he can get, how he can improve his content, which is already great. And yeah, he's very driven to self-develop, self-improve, and improve his product and service that he's delivering to so many people. And he's a big inspiration to a lot of people, and all content creators can learn many things from Mr. Beast, how he operates, how he does things, his content, how he invests in his content himself, how he backs himself, and how consistent he is.
Let's go back to tips for aspiring social media, content or short content creators.
Tips for aspiring content creators. Okay, so take action. Understand that you probably won't be great when you begin, but you will only improve over time if you're paying attention to what you do right and what you do wrong. Analyze everything. Study best in class in your desired field, and look to learn from what they do wrong and what they do right, and try and put your own authentic twist and flavor on things that you see that you would like to implement, so that it feels unique to you and you're not like a carbon copy of somebody else or an imitation. Be consistent, be disciplined, implement systems so you aren't dependent on motivation to take action, because that is fleeting and will fluctuate and will lead to you being flaky and unreliable and inconsistent. But if you have a system, then it cuts your fleeting feelings out of the loop, and you can, the system says I need to take action at this time for this long on this thing. Am I going to stick to the system, or am I going to deviate? In which case, if I deviate, can I complain if I don't find success because I've put together a strategy and a plan that's a roadmap to success, and I'm not having the discipline to stick to it? I can only have myself to blame outside of extenuating circumstances.
What about motivation? Because it's a really weird way to live. And I've only been doing it for a short period of time now. I sold my company in May. Yeah. So I've been kind of full-time doing this since then-ish, or as best as close to full-time as I can, I think I can make it. Interviewing 2 or 3 times a week, editing a lot around it, and it can be quite, it's quite a weird way to make it, to live, where, as I say, right now it's an expensive hobby. I need sponsors, and, that's where I'm going. That's where I hope to be. Yeah. But it could be quite an unrelenting pursuit for numbers and traction and those things. And you talk about consistency. I think a lot of people fall off, not just podcasting, but social creation and content creation and on the whole, because of disillusionment and feeling like, it's not working, I'll stop. And I always think about that. You've seen that drawing of a man with a big pickaxe, and he's almost there, and there's a pot of gold right there,
right on the other side,
and he's right next to it. So what do you say to people that feel disillusioned by, and this can cut across everything from social media content creation to really, insert thing, trying to become an author. It's like, how, what do you say to people that just feel like, do you know what, I'm going to stop?
Why? Say, why do you want to stop? And I try and get their heartbeat, try to get to their why, their motivation, their purpose, the deeper reason for why they're doing things, because that will probably give big clues as to why they feel like stopping. For example, if somebody's doing something that they're really passionate and love, that they're really passionate about and they love, that's going to be much more conducive to longevity and not quitting, than if somebody's doing something because they think it's a shortcut to a quick buck, for example, but they don't really like it. So you want to get to what's people's why, and what gives them fulfillment, what makes them feel a sense of purpose, what makes them feel like they're adding value to others and themselves. And sometimes people are doing things that aren't right for them, and in those cases I wouldn't say just, there's a saying, fail fast, and that does have its place too, because we will all probably try things in our lifetimes that aren't quite right for us. They're not part of our life's path. They're not our calling. And sometimes you need to turn over stones to find out what you don't want, or what you don't want to do. So if you have this mindset of, if I start something, I can never quit, then number one, it puts super pressure on whatever you do, because it's like a lifetime commitment. And number two, it can restrict you from failing fast and identifying, this is the wrong move, it's not right for me, let me pivot and try something else that might be right for me. But then it's finding that balance.
It's hard to know when to pivot, if you need to pivot, if that's giving up.
For sure.
You know?
Especially if you're a winner in your mind and your nature is not to quit.
Yeah.
That can actually be harder than carrying on sometimes. Almost admitting a form of defeat.
Mm-hmm.
This has not worked. I'm not going to keep flogging an inanimate rock. See how I went PC with that? Adapting. Adapt or
Pivot.
die. Breaking the fourth wall as well. You're not supposed to look down the camera.
That absolutely stays in.
Know the rules and when to break them. Everything with purpose. So it's a really interesting topic, that, and often very unclear.
Did you ever feel like you were going to give up?
At what?
At content creation. Was there ever a moment where you were like, do you know what, this isn't going as well as I thought it was going to, what I wanted to do, this isn't the direction I want to be going in?
No.
Do you think that's just bloody mindedness on your part? You're like, I'm going to be the best at piano I can be, I'm going to be the best at football I can be, I got this discipline.
I am persistent.
Yeah.
I've got many flaws, and but I would say persistence is in the top 10 words. That if you said describe yourself in 10 words, persistence would be probably top 5, top 10. I'm definitely persistent. No, but I've dedicated to my craft.
Mm-hmm.
I really have dedicated to my craft.
I mean, literally since 20 years old and onwards, right? You know, this has been what you do. That's 18 years of, you know, we talk about the 10,000 hours, and, you know, I know there's some skepticism around that whole thing, but you've definitely put your 10,000 hours in, right?
Oh, easily.
So, I mean, how many hours a day you editing?
Oh, frightening amounts of time.
And how do you get your partner to stop telling you off for doing it? Because I need some of this, Jeremy. She's like, well, see that daughter over there? I'm like, yeah. She's like, you going to look at her today, or are you just going to be bloody editing?
So since becoming a dad, I spend less time editing.
How are you striking that balance? Is something I wanted to talk about later on, but it's a great way of getting into it. You know, how do you strike that balance between you are a 25 hours a day kind of guy, and now you've got a baby? And I mean, how old's Leo now?
2 now.
2. Right. So, my youngest is 19, almost 20 months. So not dissimilar ages. Yeah. They're full on.
Very.
They take a lot of you.
Absolutely.
And how do you strike that balance?
Very difficult.
Do you feel like you are able to give as much to both? Or are you spreading yourself? Like, do you ever worry that you're spreading yourself thin, or do you just have to find deeper reserves?
It's a real tricky one. I make sure I make time to spend with my boy every single day, unless I'm abroad. And I understand that ultimately that will come at a cost. Everything comes at a cost. And the cost will be I will get less done work-wise that day. But I will see my boy. I will spend quality time with him. I will be present. I'll make memories with him. And if we skip ahead to a 100-year-old version of me, and I'm on my deathbed.
I love that you don't go for 80 like most people do. You're like, right,
a bit further.
Yeah.
And that's above the average.
It'd be like 150 by the time we get there, mate. I hope so.
It's above the average life expectancy, but we aim for above average, so I'll allow it.
There you go. That speaks so much to your character. It's hilarious.
Is it in the 1%? If not, can we go? Can we go further?
There we go.
But yeah, if I was on my deathbed and I was asked, do you regret that day when you could have got more work done, but you spent it with your boy instead? I highly doubt the answer is going to be, yeah, I regret that.
Yeah, I wish I'd have edited that other video.
Yeah, as long as you're able to provide for your family, put food on the table, a roof over their heads, you know, give relative security, then there's a lot more important things in life than making a bit more money.
You touch on, I completely agree, that's why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
At a detriment to my financial stability, right? But, you know, financial security is, for me, again, growing up like he did, that was everything. It was like, I need financial security means I don't owe anybody anything. Yeah. You know, we're okay, you know. Yeah. And when was that moment for you? When do you think you got to financially, you know, what age do you think you were when you went, do you know what, I feel financially pretty secure? So you said you didn't have a lot of money growing up, so
No,
like, you know,
no.
you feel that, right? You feel like the moment you feel that kind of, oh my God, I can breathe a bit.
It changes, doesn't it?
Of
Because
course.
our perception and perspective changes. So what we thought was a lot of money when we were 15 might not be what we think is a lot of money when we're 25, for example. So it's a really hard question to answer when you feel like you're financially secure. But I can tell you when it wasn't. So it wasn't any time before 27.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What makes you so specific, and what makes you know that?
I mean, up till 25, I was pretty much on the breadline.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then started to do F2. And then, again, the first year or two, we weren't really making too much money. But then it started to go well. You know how it is with the curve. Like
I've seen,
push.
I saw, you touched on, you know, we talked off camera about, like, you know, Stephen Bartlett and Diary of a CEO. I saw a graph the other day, and it gives me so much hope, because this is doing okay, right?
Is it like that?
Oh my God, it was like that. And
typical.
it was, you know, the first X100, and, you know, same with Chris Williamson, who we touched on, you know, the first X episodes, and then all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah.
And it's consistency and quality and all these things that we touched on, you know, early on. And it's just not putting the pressure on yourself to succeed. And one of my very good friends, he's like, I've always put so much pressure on myself. You know, if I write a book, and I did, it has to be the best selling book, and it was. You know, if I
really,
within the cheers, brother. Mate, you've done amazing things, don't you? It's all good.
Congratulations.
Yeah, but like within the industry, did really well. You know, all the awards and all that stuff. But none of it fills you up. You know, because you're trying to chase something.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to chase a feeling. You're trying to chase something. But it's like.
But we're designed that way too.
Yeah.
We are designed to.
Not everybody is, though, and that's something that has taken me a longer time to actually realise.
Yeah.
In speaking to, you know, some of my friends, as I say, he's like, you know, you know, basically, you need to put less pressure on yourself. You need to realise that this is a years long thing, not a 6-month thing. You know, and I like to think, well, you know, if I keep pushing and have that intent, then, you know, I'll get there. Not necessarily quicker, but just, you know, it will keep me motivated to get there. But a lot of people are like, not everybody thinks like that. And you have to remind yourself sometimes that not everybody thinks like that. And not everybody wants to think like that, because, you know, they're happy.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah.
What is this happiness they speak of, Jeremy?
It's
contentment.
It's
what is
a real
that?
science. I mean, it's different for everybody, but there are some principles that cross over pretty much across.
Do you feel
the board.
happy?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So 27 was where you felt like, oh, hang on, that's where I know I wasn't. So then things start to change.
Wasn't financially secure, but I was happy. I've been happy for pretty much my whole adult life.
Wow,
as soon as I left uni.
What did you do at uni?
I got a sports science degree.
Okay.
And professional coaching.
Did you ever think you were going to go down that route? Was coaching, conditioning, like, you know, all that sort of thing?
No, safety net.
That was all there just in case.
Yeah, parents said you should get a safety net.
Okay.
Then you can go for things, and, you know, worst case scenario, you've got something to fall back
That's right.
on. Yeah, so I'm always striving for more.
Yeah.
That's definitely a strong feature of my way of thinking.
Do you have any?
But also, I've for pretty much all of my adult life, I've been happy along the way too, which is, I think, is quite rare, and I feel
Super rare.
Really...
Do you know how it makes me feel happy for you? Genuinely, and that sounds so corny, but like it fills me up to go, that's all. I've got a happy human being sat in front of me, because you go outside and most people aren't happy, mate.
Yeah, and trust me, I have
my
fair share of problems, challenges, things that you could focus on to be feel unhappy, but equally, not even equally, disproportionately for myself, and I think for a lot of people, if we choose to, there are more things that we could focus on to make us feel happy. And what is happiness? I mean, I'm going to throw that one to you. What is happiness?
It's not something we should really be running at, like, in my mind, because it's an oscillating aspect of life. It's like, you know, if you ever met somebody that's endlessly happy, they'd probably be unbearable, right?
Well, I worry about that, because it's not popular. It's more popular to. It's probably more likable to not be happy, because maybe it's more relatable to more people. And
I've got a thing,
that, maybe.
And I'm about to make myself very unpopular if this if this stays in the edit. I don't buy imposter syndrome.
You don't buy it?
I don't buy it.
I'm interested in this. What does this mean? Okay, so
this
I know
means,
what imposter syndrome.
Of course, imposter syndrome. The idea,
right?
Because we should all feel that. If I'm debuting for, like, let's say I had my England debut, right, and playing rugby, am I nervous as Yeah. Why? Because I should be. Am I an imposter for being there? No. I've just never done it before. Imposter syndrome. Oh, I feel nervous about that meeting. I feel nervous. So yeah, because you haven't done it yet. And you haven't built those miles up yet. You haven't built those hours up yet. I think what's happened is we've turned nervousness into anxiety and anxiety into imposter syndrome. And resistance or resilience is a dirty word. And I worry that, mindset is looked at as, like a persistent, kind of more, like, I guess a mindset that, pushes against those victimhoods is seen as an unpopular thing. It's like, Rich, but you don't know. It's like, but I feel like I do know. Like, again, in this short conversation, I've touched on some things. I do know. And I'm not saying everybody can do that. But also, like, this whole notion of, it feels popular. It feels like something you have to say. And if you don't say it...
trendy.
If you don't say it, if I was to say that, if I was to go up on a conference, I've done lots of conference speeches working in PR, and I went, don't buy imposter syndrome, I'd lose half the room. I'd lose 9/10 of the room.
You might have lost me on that one. But let me...
See you later, Rich.
No, but
I'm intrigued because, and again, I haven't actually externalised or articulated that very often to anybody, particularly in this setting, because but you said it, like, there's an unpopularity to talking about, like, lots of people want to stay in that lane of potential unhappiness, and why. So for me, it's why limit yourself? To me, it's limiting, and we're endlessly capable, and you're limiting yourself by going imposter syndrome, mate. It's like, okay, well, cool. We all have that notion of anxiety or nervousness. So what? What are you going to do?
Yeah,
I'm interested in your thoughts.
There's lots of different things to unpack here. So let's start with the imposter syndrome. So I actually agree with you in the scenarios that you mentioned, where sometimes nervousness can be misinterpreted as a negative form of anxiety and maybe misinterpreted as a form of imposter syndrome. But when you say you don't buy it, do you mean that you don't believe it exists in any scenario?
No, I do. I believe it exists. I believe people think that
or it can be legitimate.
Of course it can be legitimate, but I don't buy this collective backpattery that we've kind of.
No, where my mind goes is when I hear of imposter syndrome, I think of somebody who has not done the work, does not deserve their position, but it's been handed to them on a silver platter. Maybe
failed upwards.
Maybe someone's inherited a position and their dad did all the work and they didn't, and they don't deserve it on merit themselves as an individual.
Interesting.
But it's generational, and from that aspect we receive the good and the bad that comes from those that preceded us. I can see somebody in a scenario like that feeling imposter syndrome because they might look around and see all these competent people who have done the hours, who have put the grind in.
Okay, I've never thought about it like that before.
But one person might be there just because of the blood in their veins. I could see them having imposter syndrome and thinking, well, you should, because you didn't do the work. But be grateful that your dad did, so you don't have to. There you go.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
And there wouldn't actually be anything wrong with them. It may be a bit of self-awareness.
I guess mine comes from a place of just kind of give yourself a little bit more credit than that. Like, when people are, oh no, I suffer from that. It's like, do you suffer from, or is it something you can?
Some people know they haven't done the work.
Maybe.
You might not be able to relate to that because you're very hardworking and you're in this position because you have done the work. As well as anyone, very rare that you'll get a handout.
No, but there are people. What I love, and the more I've got three things. Every single person I've spoken to that sat in that chair or a chair opposite me, they're curious. Every single person, everybody, they will drop the ladder. Everybody wants to see other people succeed.
Yes.
Every
life's not a zero-sum game.
No, and that's wonderful, and I love that. And there's not been one person that I thought, do you know what, you're not out for your, you want to help other people succeed. Even your course, the way that you were speaking earlier on about content creators, it's like, I'm not just in this for me. I want other people to do well, and that's every single of the 50 interviews so far. That's 100%. Like,
it's no surprise because you're sitting down with very successful people, and I do think that it increases your chances of being successful massively if you have the mindset that somebody else winning does not diminish your potential to also win. Obviously, if they're a direct competitor, I don't know, you're playing a game of table tennis against someone, then that is a zero-sum game. Yeah. Someone wins, someone loses.
Yeah, cool. Sure.
But most things in life don't have to be like that. and it will serve you much better being more collaborative, having positive energy towards others, wishing them well, celebrating others' success, and not having some evil eye wishing for others to fail or bad things to happen to them. That's not going to help. That's not going to serve you well. So even if it's just for selfish reasons and purposes, you're better off wishing others well, because it's going to be better for you.
I completely agree. And I'm not a big energy guy, but it is just, putting it out there and getting it back is wonderful. You are somebody that wants, and I feel it from you. You're somebody that wants other people to succeed. Even the first second we met, I could feel like, oh, okay, you want this to go well, because if this goes well, then it's great for me as well. It's a really good way to be, I think.
I want to, if somebody's passionate about something and they're working hard towards something and it's a positive thing, why wouldn't you want to see them do well? And if they do better than you, cool. Yeah. Great. Take it as inspiration. What are they doing that you're not doing? Use them to make yourself better. Let them pull you up by having higher standards than you. Correct it. Raise your standards. Let's go. Let's all win together. Let's all work as hard as each other. Do you know what I'm saying?
I love it, mate.
You don't need to look at it and go, oh, he's doing really well. That means
talking about collaboration, Paula Lima and Aaron Kraskell.
Yeah. I've got one that's going out today with them boys. I've got to finish editing it.
I've got a question. Is it you that edits them?
Yes.
Okay, are you the one, guys? It's me. All right.
No. So we're a group.
Yes, of course.
I say we're a group. We're not a group. We meet up as a group.
How often do you meet? Because you seem to have just like skit, and I'm like, how much time are you guys together?
So we're very disorganized, and there's no schedule. So we just every so often we'll go, when's the next meetup? And there's a group, a WhatsApp group, and then we'll ping in some dates in the diary, we'll sync up, and we'll all meet up, and then we'll film for half the day, and we'll just cram in as many videos as we can, and then we'll.
What's the most you've done in one day?
So some of them boys are machines. Like Paula Lima is an absolute machine.
You get that from him.
That guy, he will film 15 videos in near on 15 minutes. The guy is so quick. Yeah. I'm probably the slowest in the group. The natural nature of
who else is there in your WhatsApp group?
We've got Steve-O the Madman. Yep. We've got Axel Blake.
Yep.
We've got Man Like Hacks. Aaron Kraskell. Paula Lima, and myself, but it's fluid. So
it's not always everybody with each other.
We want to keep having special guests and inviting new people, but we have a lovely little support network there, which again we spoke about being collaborative. One of us might be having a bad month, not feeling creatively inspired, or our numbers might be down a little bit. But when you're plugged in to a support network, it's like a life support system. And it can help all of us to have longevity, and also the vibe's unbelievable.
That's the thing. Well, they always say, surround yourself with the right people. It's you are the sum of the people you spend your time with.
Yeah, I could if I showed you the messages after every meetup,
just positive,
so positive. Everyone's just like, "You guys give me life. I feel totally energized after the meetup."
Well, Aaron has been through, like, you can see it in him,
Yeah.
like such a physical transformation, even.
Yeah.
And it feels like a mental one too. A decent, and not to speak for him necessarily, but as somebody that's seen that for him, and somebody that's been through some stuff recently, and maybe been at a lower ebb, and then recognizing the stuff that I need to do to pick myself up and out of it. It's amazing to see.
He's just the nicest guy.
Yeah.
You'd get on really, really well with him. Yeah, he would have some incredible stories to tell.
Mate, hook me up.
And he's an inspiration to many people also.
Yeah.
But I love them boys. I love filming together.
What's your favourite thing you filmed with the boys? What one stands out to you? Like when you think of filming with them, is there one where you just had the best time? Forget numbers.
What, laughs off camera or
either?
It's
You're like, what's PG?
Now we done one recently, which is it's close to the edge.
Okay.
Actually.
Okay.
I find it hilarious.
Yeah.
I find it hilarious that
Is
comedy.
Is it easier to push toward, like, closer to the line when you've got the safety of numbers?
Yes.
Yeah.
And a mixed demographic. Without saying too much.
Right. Okay.
We have so much fun on set. It's almost a problem because for most of the skits, laughing ruins the shot. But it's so funny what's happening. So you're fighting for your life not to laugh. I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to think terrible thoughts about, like, things that make me sad. Yeah, you have to really
dead man.
Try and stress yourself out in your head to combat the
That's
urge
so
to
funny.
laugh. But yeah, they're a great bunch, and I've got another video coming out with two of the boys today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I mean, when you say coming out, what's a good time? Like, when you aim to get content out there, have you got a time where you're like, right, boys, this is when everything needs to be done, said,
right now, actually,
collabs this time.
Right now, but
okay, so like kind of
I'm prioritizing our
mate,
conversation.
well, I'm hugely appreciative. You know that, like, I'm massively.
It's my pleasure, honestly. I'm really enjoying sitting down talking to you.
But the you on camera, how close is that to the you off camera?
It's the same person.
Yeah, because you hear a lot of people kind of amp it up a bit, right?
Yeah, and it's low hanging fruit to say to someone, oh, they're different off camera, like it's unverifiable. Right. As soon as you verify it, you're now recording, which means you're
very true
on camera.
Yeah.
So it's an easy thing to say about anybody without them being able to prove or disprove it. Obviously, you could ask people in their circle.
Yeah. I mean, the skits, they're predominantly comedy skits. Right? I mean, they are comedy skits. Like, did you ever think of yourself as funny?
No.
Because all your kind of social media stuff's been skill orientated and and persistent skill orientation.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I watched the one on your new Jeremy Lynch football Instagram channel.
Yeah.
The one where you're flicking it up and catching it. And there's like 15 different times where you fail, but you get it.
Yes.
And you nail it. It's so yeah. Did you think? Oh, I'm actually like. Do you think of yourself
even now,
as funny? Is it having those kind of funny bones?
No, I don't think I'm funny.
Okay.
But I think I understand what's funny.
Right.
And that's all you need to make a funny video.
Right.
That's kind of my look. Some people would disagree. Some people might say, "Oh, Jez, you are funny." Some people say, "Jez, you're the furthest thing from funny."
Well, like Savage Dad. Let's talk about Savage Dad for instance, right? Like it's just. I watched the origin of Savage Dad video.
Did you?
Oh my god! Like I hadn't seen it. I can't believe I hadn't seen it. It was so good. Like the bully.
The bully. Yeah. So every Savage Dad episode has an underlying moral message. Mm-hmm. So the series has touched on some quite heavy topics.
Oh, bullying is a big one. Stand up for yourself.
A big one. There was essay in a recent one.
Right, I didn't see that one.
You have peer pressure and bad influences at school. There's a long list of moral lessons that come with the episodes, and it's actually Savage Dad is a series that's very close to my heart, and it's a passion point.
I think I can feel that as you're watching it. You're like, how close to Savage Dad is your real dad?
He's not that far off, to be
really
fair. Yeah, my dad's he's a bit of a savage. He's inspired. The character is actually inspired largely by my dad.
Right. Okay.
But also,
was your dad born in the UK? Where's he from?
He's from the Caribbean.
He's from the Caribbean. Whereabouts in the Caribbean?
Montserrat, actually.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've had a few Jamaican guys on. They talk about their dads, like like Levi Roots and Mr. Motivator, and some amazing people. Tal Stokes. He was the captain of the Jamaican bobsled team that inspired Cool Runnings. In fact, that is my best watch video on YouTube. Is that I looked at the stats and it's like 98% Jamaica, and I'm like, hello Jamaica.
Yeah.
But they talk about that kind of Caribbean influence from their parents, and that strictness that comes with it almost. So Savage Dad's quite close to yours.
Yeah, no nonsense.
I love it.
There's a strong sense of consequences for actions, and I know there's many ways to do that, and it instilled a strong sense of discipline, the need to respect authority, and
going from a well-known duo to a solo creator. Like, how did you feel in that kind of transitionary period? Like, was it a scary thing to go back to doing it by yourself? Because obviously you started doing, content by yourself, or was it quite?
It's actually forced.
Yeah.
Yeah. So during COVID, we're all in quarantine. So everybody's in the house on their own.
Yeah.
You can't go out, you can't meet up, can't film as a duo, you can't film on a pitch. So it was a perfect time. Everyone's also consuming content. So the perfect time to start pivoting into doing individual content as well. And I really, really enjoy it. And it's like been a fresh challenge trying to create a completely different style of content. I've always had a lot of creativity in me, and being able to express it through a vast array of different types of content. Again, I break the rules. You're not supposed to not really have a niche. You're supposed to have a niche and stick to it. You're supposed to, you know,
just focus on football videos.
Yeah, because then the algorithm gets to learn
That's it.
what niche this is and pushes it out to an audience that resonates with that niche. When every video is completely different, one might be a savage dad, the next day you might be on the piano, then the next day might be a lifestyle, then you might be doing some parenthood with your son, then you're on a football pitch, then you're at the gym, and then you're doing comedy sketches, and then you're doing more serious short film type stuff. The algorithm's confused every time.
Do you think it's because you did have that, the size, the scale at which you then could start to play with content? Like, as in, you built yourself to such a point.
I've done it. I've built doing that.
That's a good point.
So I've broken the rules.
That's true.
So, but my one thing was
So it's that Schwarzenegger break the rules.
Yeah. My one thing was, if my videos have nothing in common, they need to have this one common denominator that I like them. So what it's done is it's built an audience that likes similar things to me.
Mm-hmm. It turns out there's a bloody lot of them.
But it's difficult to get people who like. Your audience is never going to like everything because it's such a contrasted.
In fact, I've got a wonderful quote from you saying exactly that. A life lived trying to be liked by everyone is a futile life. Love the word futile.
Yeah. This is good.
Yeah. I mean, is that something you've always thought, or have you had to kind of, learn that through being popular?
I think there's some fun things on this which I've thought about it a little bit. Would you like to be liked by everyone?
Everybody would, right?
Is that noble?
It doesn't motivate me.
As in, there are some degenerates in the world.
Yeah, right.
Do you want them to like you? Does that say something about you if people who are proper wrong-uns rate you and like you and resonate with you?
Yeah.
So actually, wouldn't it be optimal and most noble not to want to be liked by everyone, because you understand that there are some people who are just wrong-uns, and if everybody liked you, it would probably point to something not positive about you, because there's certain types of people that they shouldn't like you if you're good. So that's one thought on that. The second one is, it is futile. People are so different. So one person's going to love you, another person's going to hate you. One person's going to think you're funny, another one's going to think you're boring.
Yeah.
One person's going to think you're really good at what you do, another person's going to think that you're terrible at what you do. Look at the best in class in nearly every field, and they get criticised. So, Ronaldo gets called Penaldo. Messi gets people saying he needs referees to help him. LeBron gets called overrated. These are the best in the world.
Literally the best to ever do it.
Pretty much the best ever to do what they're doing. And they get loads of stick.
Yeah.
So trying to avoid that, or think that you can be above that and not get it, doesn't mean it's morally right that people are so insensitively and harshly critical of others, especially on the internet. Doesn't mean that it's morally right. But unfortunately, we live in a world where things that aren't morally right happen all the time, and they can't be stopped. So it is going to happen, but like I said, it doesn't mean
the internet's an especially unkind place, and an especially unkind place to be yourself and to put yourself out there.
Well, people talk in a way that
they would never talk about because you get a punch in the mouth.
It would just be so inappropriate in most settings. But then on the internet, it's just everyday standard procedure.
Yeah.
So it's a strange space.
What do you say to people about comment section? Like, because with my clients with PR, I always basically say, don't believe the good, don't believe the bad. There's something in between.
Yeah, you have to be stoic. Somebody will think you're the greatest ever, and somebody will think that you're just a terrible waste of space.
Yeah.
So being stoic is the way.
How do you deal with that? Any criticism?
Like I say, I
think you're hugely popular, right? I think it's you're hugely popular. You got millions and millions of followers, millions of people eyes on you. As you rightly say, anybody best in class or close to it is going to be picked apart. So has it ever kind of hit you in a way that you think, Christ, this is
so? There's an inbuilt defense mechanism in pretty much all humans, which is to pay more attention to possible threats. So this is why you can get 50 positive comments, but one negative one.
That's the
what
one.
do you look in and focus on? It's the negative one. Yeah. Why is that? The reason for that is because that's more akin to a potential threat. Oh, somebody doesn't like it.
Interesting.
Triggers an emotional response, and you pay more attention to it if if you don't override that natural process. So when you understand, okay, this is what my body and nervous system might want to do. Cool. We're not going to do that though. We're going to actively override it and focus on the positive. And for most people, there will be a lot more positive than negative. It's like life. You can always choose what you focus on. We speak about happiness.
Yeah.
So much of happiness is based around perspective, framing, and brain chemistry. How people see things. You know, someone could have a car that they like. Let's say they got a BMW, but that person might have a jealous disposition. Their neighbor goes and gets a car that they see as better than a BMW, and nothing's changed for them. They've still got the BMW. On Tuesday they had the BMW, now it's Wednesday, and they've still got the BMW. But on Tuesday they were happy, and Wednesday, because their neighbor got a car that they thought's better, now they're unhappy. That's framing. That's how they're framing it. That's perspective, and is brain chemistry, which is fleeting and very changeable and fluctuates. So, like you said earlier in this conversation, chasing happiness, you've got to be very careful with it, because you're chasing something that's it's very changeable. It's basically a mood, isn't it? And brain chemistry. So, I mean, that. I know we're not talking about HP1 yet, but
no, we're not. And I'm keen to, but
there's a nice tie in there with it, because one of the long-term benefits of HP1 is brain health, and obviously a healthy brain is more likely to have the right type of brain chemistry that we want. Unhealthy brain chemistry can be off, and someone can have all sorts of problems with it.
I mean, I think to some degree criticism can be instructive and educational, and also as a society we have, shame has been used for millennia to say, stop doing that, mate. And then people go, oh yeah, right, I'll stop doing that. Has there been any criticism, what's the harshest criticism that you've experienced that has actually helped you?
From myself. People have no idea how harshly I criticise myself. I'm brutal to myself, but I'm also my biggest supporter. So it's so
I heard a thing.
Double-edged.
Chris Williamson, I can't remember who it was he sat down with, and that guy said, I'll buy myself a beer. And I was like, would I buy myself a beer? I probably would, you know. So I quite like that idea of that's being a cheerleader for yourself.
Yeah, so I don't put myself down, even in my internal voice. Do you hear a voice in your head?
Oh, mate, I'm awful. I'm awful.
But do you hear a voice?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And it's your voice.
Actually, not everybody does. It's my voice, it's me.
And it's English.
It's me speaking to myself, yeah.
Same with me.
Yeah.
So this voice in my head, it's never puts myself down, but it's brutal with constructive criticism. So, for example, if I'm trying to do a football skill and I make a mistake, I won't say, you're terrible at football. I'll say, that was terrible. You need to be better than that. You are better than that. Now prove it. Show me you're better than that. That's the type of dialogue I need. You're not leaving until you get this right.
Which is why I knew, and we're going back to the beginning of the conversation, is why I knew I'd have put everything I have on the fact that BGT semi-final, you went and practiced it and got it right.
Yeah.
I knew.
You knew. I see it in your eyes, you knew. But obviously, it's something that I think it's worth people practicing, and it's like a muscle that you can train. Because if you do something that's objectively not very good, but your internal voice is saying, that was great, and you're thinking, I'm positively speaking to myself, that's not constructive, and that's not going to help you in the long run. It's being overly kind in the short term, but that's not kind in the long term. So sometimes you just have to be very direct.
Let's talk about business. You talked about HP1.
Yeah.
What have you learned about money that you wish 18-year-old you knew?
Well, 18-year-old me certainly knew nothing at all about money. That's for sure. what have I learned about money? That's a real broad one. So I guess an obvious one would be, I think for the majority of people who don't have money, there can be a misconception that having money will solve problems. And this is nothing new, what I'm about to say, and it might be predictable to those who have heard it before, but money doesn't buy happiness, and it doesn't just automatically fix all problems, but it does make a lot of problems.
Makes a massive...
It does make it easier to solve a lot of problems, but not all problems. So how would I say this succinctly? I guess it's things like, I saw this, Tony Robbins.
Of course.
He was speaking on this, and he was saying he interviewed 50 billionaires, and he asked them if they're happy. And how many do you think said yes?
Less than half.
4. So if money made you happy, then
they'd be happy, right? And then every one of them would have said it. In fact, it was the Dr. Luke Kemp, the guy that I spoke to from Cambridge. Touching on happiness, he said, past a certain point, you're just keeping score. It's like, he's got a bigger yacht than me. And it's just like, he even said, he put a number to it. He said, past 10 million, most of the people I've spoken to, you're keeping score, because that's the point at which it's like, it's generational money at that point. Like, your kids are going to be absolutely fine. Their kids are probably going to be fine if you're investing them well. He's like, it's keeping score. And how much of that can truly then contribute to happiness?
Yeah. And I think it's one of those things where...
That's mad. 4,
I know.
That's mad.
I know. But it's something that you can only speak from experience once you generate some wealth, and then you can see for yourself.
And then people don't believe you.
Yes, they don't believe you. They won't believe you.
They're like, but if I had money, I would. And it's like... That's
the ironic thing about it, is even if you get there and try to pass on the knowledge, it will usually be dismissed because people think that's
falls
you.
on deaf ears.
It might not solve your problems, it will solve mine. I'll tell you that now for free. Yeah. So there's that. But I tell you what would be more grim than being unhappy and not having money? Maybe having money and still being unhappy. Maybe.
That would be devastating, wouldn't it?
A lot of people, I'm going to lose a lot of the room here at first, but stick with me on this. A lot of people who are unhappy, they have a sense that if I can get wealthy, then it can fix this. But if you already got the money and you're still not happy, I think and you see this with a lot of super wealthy people, I think there can be a feeling of being lost. Like, what is life about then? I have everything. I've got a yacht, I've got a helicopter, I've got private jets, I've got multiple houses, properties all over the world. I'm making more money when I'm asleep than most people making a year when they're working. Yeah, a lifetime. And I'm still not happy. That could be an absolutely crushing feeling for some people, because where do they go from there? You're going to have to seek something outside of the materialistic, and a lot of people will not have a clue where to go or what to do, and then that can lead to all sorts of feelings of depression and lack of purpose and being lost.
I think it's purpose, isn't it? So talk to me about purpose now. Talk to me about HP1. Talk to me about focus. And is Limitless one of your favourite films? Is that where it comes from?
Limitless is one of my favourite films.
It's pretty badass.
I think anyone who's seen the film Limitless is going to fantasize about, what if a pill like this really existed?
Right.
Put yourself in that position of, would you take it or would you not? Would you be intimidated by it, or would you be like, get me those
Would you
pills?
take the Limitless pill?
100%.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat. Yeah. I'd have to know.
Yeah.
I'd have to know.
Yeah, okay. I think I would as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be, I mean, I'm trying to think of, play devil's advocate and see what could be bad about it. They say this about AI, like it could quickly get to a point where it's so competent that to AI, humans are just incredibly and annoyingly stupid and incompetent. Maybe there could be something like that if there was a real limitless pill. I don't know. But anyway, the movie, unbelievable. one of my favorite films, and it's always been just like a fantasy of imagine. I think that's.
When did
that's
you
not
start
just me.
thinking about HP1? And it wasn't called HP1 at first, was it?
It wasn't.
You were thinking maybe called it Limitless, right? But then obviously there are some legal grey areas around that. So you think HP1, which makes me think, as somebody who's played video games, makes me think of being on your last health point.
Yeah.
Right? That's what it makes. But you talked about High Performance 1. You talked about
Human
Potential 1.
Yeah.
So when was the moment you went, I need to do this? And let's tell people what it is.
So, HP1 is a pill that is specifically designed with a unique formula to enhance cognitive function, aids memory, energy levels, and helps us to focus. It's incredibly effective, and it's not out. Well, when will this go out?
What day is it now? So probably before the end of the year.
Okay, and it's out officially on the 8th of December. But we're launching on TikTok Shop a little bit before that. I'm super excited about this. I think it's going to help so many people. I'm a dad, as you know, and
I'm knackered, mate, and I'm tired all the time.
Every day you're spinning plates. You're trying to.
It's the juggling of everything, and it's the feeling like you're failing at the juggling of everything as well.
Well, yeah, and it's finding that balance. Nobody can teach you the exact right ratio because it's going to be different for everybody.
Training and partner and children and work and
exactly
everything, right?
Everything. So you want to make the most of each moment. When you're working, you want to be laser focused and locked in and productive so that you can get your work done as efficiently and as effectively as possible so that you can move on to maybe having some family time. And then when you're with your family, you don't want to be hazy minded or distracted. You want to be ask anyone who's later on in life, and they're going to tell you the value and importance of making memories and being present in the moment.
Mm-hmm. So where do you start? You have this idea like, what if I could create a limitless pill? Where do you start with that? I'm not asking for ingredients and, the kind of Professor X kind of, chemistry of this, but like, what is focus and how do you improve it?
Exactly. No idea. So I've just got this in my head, like, this would be incredible. No idea. Life and work and family are taking up all of my time and thought space, just constantly trying to think of the next creative content idea and execute it well and get it posted. And the pace of social media is so fast. You did a good video today, that's great. What you got coming tomorrow morning?
Prove it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Come back again.
Yeah, it's just relentless. So I just parked it as just like a nice to have in the back of my head. Probably never happen. Then, almost like, when things happen and it's weird.
Like serendipity.
Is that what the word is for it? I should know that. But it's like the stars align, or like the universe is just, I don't know what. But it's like it's meant to be. So then a guy called Hamilton reaches out and gets in touch via my team. And he says, I've got something that I just got a feeling, because he's watched my content and sort of got a gauge of my interests, and he knows I like cool stuff and like pushing the mind and pushing boundaries and challenging myself and trying to, I resonate with things that might be a bit more cerebral and take a bit more thought. I find stuff interesting, like this conversation. We're trying to unpack things. Like, I enjoy that stuff. So normally I'd say no, but for whatever reason, I said yes. And we met in Shoreditch, and he brought the team, a small team that he'd already assembled, and he presented the idea, and I loved it from the start. Obviously, his first meeting, so you haven't negotiated. So we set up more meetings. We're having meetings, Zoom calls, meeting in person, phone calls, and the guys tell me they want me to meet the product developer, a guy called Dan Herman. I call him the genius professor. He's the guy who has created and built the HP1 formula, the actual formula of the powder that's inside the capsule.
And this is very much his background, right?
Oh, yeah. Like, so he's been doing it. He's one of the most experienced in the world in this field. He's worked with the likes of NASA. I try and dig out.
Never heard of him, mate. Who the hell are they?
I try and dig out of him all the time. I'm like, did you see anything?
Area 51.
Did you go to Roswell? He's like, he plays on it though. He's like,
good.
I could tell you,
but he's the white jacket. He's that guy, right? He's that,
and he's great, and he's just a genius, and he's the one who's formulated this unique formula. And what sets HP1 apart is, number one, it's a unique formula versus anything else out on the market. Nothing else is this precise formula. And number two, this unique formula is science-backed. So what I mean by that is a lot of the products that are on the market, the individual ingredients, they've been tested and they're science-backed, but the unique combination hasn't been tested.
Right.
HP1's has.
Is that why it's taken so long to get it from, you said 2 years?
It takes some time.
Why it's taken so long to get to market?
But we knew there's certain checkboxes that we needed before putting this to market. We believe very staunchly in the importance of people being cautious about what they put in their body, having a responsibility to what they ingest.
That's the thing. As a big, popular social media content creator,
yeah,
we've seen a lot of it. Christ, we remember the days of the NFTs, right? And and people pumping, and it's important to really truly believe in and have that science backing for something you're putting out, because there's a lot levied at social media content creators of like, just putting your name to anything.
Yes, yes, and rightly so. There's a lot of slap on labels of that type of nature.
There's the ASA get quite heavy handed sometimes with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So for you to be quite so. To have taken this long to get this exactly right, I think speaks to, again, your perfectionism, perhaps.
I am guilty of that, discipline.
Correct. But you'll want to truly bring something that isn't just another social media content creator with a big following, give it like, hey, buy this. No. Like, what makes you truly believe in it?
What makes me truly believe in it is a few things. So number one, personal anecdote. I've tried the product myself, and I take it every day. I've been on it for months now, and I've personally seen the massive benefits in how I'm able to lock in and focus and mental clarity when I'm taking the pills. Number two is the testimonials of others who have taken it so far. Blown away. Mm-hmm. Like, we knew we have something phenomenal here, but when you start to get real world feedback that reinforces what we thought, it's different when it happens.
Have you done any of that kind of? I'm not a scientist. I'm an idiot when it comes to this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Talking about curiosity.
I'm not a scientist either, mate.
But like that kind of, that blind, placebo versus HP1 type.
We've done some stuff.
You've done all of that.
Yeah. We've done a little bit. We're going to do some more.
Okay.
But this has actually been. We personally, as a team, have done a bit, but it's been done properly by Coventry University.
Right.
Done an actual study on the HP1 pills as the unique formula.
Is Dan going to be part of the promo for this? Part of the part of the story? Are you going to have content with Dan talking about the product?
Yeah. So he's part of the story, but same way I'm not a scientist, he's not a content creator.
Sure.
He can't be. He's dedicated. We each other. We spoke about being obsessed and Mr. Beast. Like, this whole conversation ties in because he's obsessed with his craft. I'm obsessed with my craft.
That was earlier on. I was talking about the three things that combine people, and I annoyed myself because I couldn't think of the third. It's obsessive. That's it. It's curious, obsessive, and drop the ladder. They're the three things. So the obsession. Every single person, to a fault, to a person, has said, it's that obsession with that thing as well. And the second you start talking to a sports person, an actor, it's about the craft. And I've always had a big thing about fame. It should be a byproduct of success, hard work, and talent. And and for our kids, what do we want to teach them? We want to teach them that fame is a byproduct of success, hard work, and talent, and being well known isn't it shouldn't be the end goal.
I think it's a myth that fame is objectively a good thing. I think the optimal life is one where you are anonymous, probably pretty wealthy, and happy and fulfilled. And
it's Tom from MySpace. That's who. When I think of that, I think he did it first, and our era, like that kind of.
But think about someone who's obscenely famous, David Beckham. People would look at him and say he's got everything. But has he? He has not got some of the most basic freedoms.
Well, he couldn't walk outside.
He can't go to his local park and just take his kids to the theme park, or go to the cinema or to the restaurant with his family. Like, everything's a major operation. He's going to have eyes on him, people secretly filming him, people shamelessly filming him, people taking pictures of him and his family, people trying to listen to his conversations. Privacy. Put a price on it because he doesn't have it.
And the funny thing is, for a lot of people, that price is quite low. When you listen to, like, you know, the 90s girl bands and things like, you know, I can't remember which one it was. I was listening to on another podcast, and she was talking about, like, oh, we only got paid this much, and it was like a criminal amount of money for the lack of privacy that they then proceeded to have, and the amount of intrusion from press going through their bins and all that shit, and you're like, you got paid a couple of grand for that, like a couple of grand a month or something, you know.
You go on holiday with your family, then the paps are taking pictures of your missus in the bikini, and next thing it's on the front page of the newspapers, and then the whole nation's weighing in on your wife's body. Like, there's just so many aspects of fame which are not good. So if you're not famous,
don't
I
necessarily
think
wish for it.
There's a lot to appreciate there.
There's that, you know, Faustian pact, that devil's kind of handshake of like, oh, you know, what do you want this for?
Be aware of
buyer beware, man.
The cons that would come with
Do
you
famous. Feel the cons of being well known?
I feel them, but I'm not David Beckham, so I have more freedoms than him. But of course you feel them, and you are more restricted than if you were anonymous. So I would always say optimal is to be anonymous.
Let's go for a couple of quicker fire questions.
Do it.
Best player you've ever filmed with?
Oh, you're hitting me with that one.
I'm hitting you with that one, and there we'll go through a couple.
I'm going to Messi and Ronaldo. I'll film with both.
Yeah.
Being very blessed. I
haven't seen that. Was both of them at the same time?
Yes. No.
Oh, I was going to say I've not seen that video.
No, sorry. No, I've been lucky enough to film with both.
So I'm going to force you to choose one.
They're both amazing. Honestly, I get asked all the time.
Of course you do.
I love them both.
Yeah.
I celebrate both of them.
I mean, again, to our point earlier on, you know, when they're not just the best to ever do it, and we're watching that. I remember about 10 years ago, somebody saying that on Twitter or something, saying, take a step back, guys, we're watching some of the best to ever do this.
Yeah.
And they're still doing it, you know?
Going a bit off, well, it's on topic, but it's, you know, I like to unpack things. When people say who's the best, who's the GOAT, what does that even mean?
So subjective, yeah.
As in, are you talking about over the course of their career, over the course of a season, half a season, a quarter, one game?
Yeah.
You know, you could take it as far as for 30 seconds in a particular match, this player was the best I've ever seen. Like, it's very unspecific when people just say, oh, who's the GOAT or who's the best?
Yeah.
The terms, I don't see the terms defined before engaging in the debate, like clearly defined. Does that make sense to you?
Of course it does, yeah.
Because they're still playing now.
That's it.
So, you know, the story's not even finished with their careers. Ronaldo just scored an overhead kick last week, and Messi had 4 goal contributions in one game. So they're both still going.
They're still there. What's the one video you're most proud of?
Oh, that's tough, man.
Come on. There must be something you look back and go, do you know what? Either that was the making of, was it the first Savage Dad? Was
the
it
Savage Dad series?
Yeah.
There you go. So it's multiple videos. There's 2 seasons. The third one's just begun. The Savage Dad seasons and the Toy Story ones are up there too, to be fair. Yeah.
Nice.
I remember when I was filming the Toy Story videos, and it's very, very rare that I will say this internally to myself, but I was so in a flow state, I remember saying to myself, you're in a flow state. And I remember the video came out unbelievably, but I could feel it when I was doing it. And I was in my room playing with these Toy Story toys, but I could feel the flow state.
No, I can identify with that.
Yeah.
You know, certain times you're just like, Rich, you're doing all right. You're doing well, man. I can feel it, you know. I love it. And that could be at the gym. It could be this. It could be any, you know.
Yeah.
So, no, but you knew that was going to...
I knew that I was in flow state creating it, and that was a real joyous moment.
Have you got one video that you'd happily delete forever?
Yeah. Actually, I was going to say the Britain's Got Talent one. But It's part of the journey. It's a good
journey.
reminder, and it's humbling. Remember, you can mess up better than anybody. This is the ultimate mess up on live TV. I don't think anybody in the live semi-finals or finals on Britain's Got Talent has ever made that many drastic mistakes.
I think you're being very harsh on yourself.
No, I think most people are pretty polished once they get to that stage, and I fumbled it massively. But on that, again, there's a positive spin to most things. How you frame things. So I was devastated after it. Months after it, I was like, no motivation. Didn't even really want to kick a ball, but was forcing myself to because it was all I knew. But years went past, and people still came up to me and said, I remember you on Britain's Got Talent. I voted for you.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work.
Right.
You're still doing it. And I started to realise car crash TV is incredibly memorable.
Well, think about Rylan. think about Rylan.
Yeah.
Do you remember, do you remember him on X Factor or whatever? I think it was X Factor at the time. And then they tell him he's going through, and he just like breaks down and he like angry, he like ugly cries.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's memorable, right?
Yeah.
These moments on TV, are there to be, to be instructive again. And so, I don't think that one should be consigned to this room 101 of YouTube. This, this bit of it. It's important that it's there.
I'm glad it happened. A video to delete. To be honest, if I feel like there's one I should delete, I'll probably just delete it.
Yeah,
I probably already have deleted it. Yeah.
Mate, this has been honestly incredible. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate we've gone a little bit over even. But one thing I'd love to ask you is something I can ask everybody. The last thing I always ask is for you to complete this sentence for me, please. Anything is possible if.
If you are consistent, persistent, relentless in the pursuit and chasing of your dreams with unwavering discipline, and what you are seeking does not contradict the laws of physics, and you are not particularly ungifted in this department.
I love it.
You did ask.
I did. That was like, I think you waited as long as the sentence was. So it's like, wow, okay, you've really like nailed that, mate. Absolutely bang on nailed that. I love that. Thank you. I just think it's important for people watching this to go, I might be where I am right now. Where can I be? Where can I be tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, 10 years? And you're a great example of somebody that, like it's done amazing things, but you pick yourself back up when you get knocked down, and it's an inspiring thing for
That's
people.
all I ever do. It's not how a man falls, but how he rises up that defines him. And I'm an example of a bundle of errors that you just pick yourself up and try and make the most out of things going wrong. Went on Britain's Got Talent, fumbled epically. Had a trial at Arsenal, didn't get accepted, rejected from Arsenal. Throughout my whole career, things happen which things don't go your way, but it's how you pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep going. And yeah, never give up. Try and work smart, definitely work hard, and try to work so hard and smart that you feel that it's inevitable and you feel that you deserve it, and you absolutely do not have even a smidgen of imposter syndrome, because how could you? It's impossible. You've worked too hard to not be in the position that you are in or seeking to get to.
Love it,
So,
mate.
yeah.
With the Arsenal thing, were you obviously you're a fan of Arsenal, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I follow Arsenal. I can't say I'm a fan because I don't follow it week in, week out. But if I'm on FIFA FC, I'm playing as Arsenal, right? Always have.
Yeah.
So
Good
that's
man.
thank you. But you're a fan. How hard was that rejection for you at that time?
It was tough, but rejection, it builds character.
Yeah.
It's good for you, man. It's like doing cold sales on the streets.
Yeah, you're
doing cold
gonna
approaching.
learn.
That's the best training for young people. Go out there and get rejected and snubbed 1,000 times in a day.
Are you almost glad then that you didn't do that thing of going to if you're at that level, presumably at 15 as well, you're presumably at a level where, you're potentially championship level, or, are you glad that you didn't go down that path and took this path?
I'm super glad with it. As you get older, I'm at the sort of age now where a lot of players are retired.
Yeah.
And you start to see what the next chapter is for them.
Yeah.
And where they're at. And
you talk about millionaires and billionaires and happiness, right?
Yeah.
That, like, sports people,
I think it's really difficult for a lot
it's
of
like their life has to restart.
Yeah, and
I've met a lot.
They go through a career where they're getting mass adulation. Fans are chanting their names. They're earning a fortune, traveling the world, part of a community within their team. They've got the changing room banter, that social aspect, strong feeling of purpose and team and camaraderie. And then almost overnight for a lot of them, it's done. You're retired. You're now sat in your living room on your own.
Watching that happen.
And another player's wearing your shirt. The fans that used to sing your name are now singing theirs. And all you know is football. And all the jobs in and around the game that you're aware of seem to be taken. And you don't know what to do next. And a lot of them turn to substance abuse, drugs, alcohol, depression, because it can hit them like a ton of bricks. They're lost. They had it all.
So you experienced that kind of rejection very early, and it's molded you. It's given you the direction.
Sent me down a path where when I get to that age, when I've gotten to that age where a lot of players are retiring or would be coming to retirement or retired, I have clear direction, clear purpose. I'm very happy. Love what I do. I have ownership and autonomy. I'm not dependent on a manager or a chairman to dictate my future. I'm not beholden to a club. And I don't have a boss.
Could you have a boss?
I can be a good follower and a good leader. I think the best leaders know how to follow. I have no problem with authority. On a micro level, I make people my boss in their departments.
Interesting.
I think that's like understanding that people have their specialisms. I think a wise person will lean into that and allow them to have responsibility and to do what they're hired to do and what they do well, and not have the ego to have to feel like you're a boss. I think as soon as someone has to say they're a boss, you've lost something along the way there. You should never have to say, I'm your boss. I've never said those words.
Mate, again, this has been incredible. I'm so grateful, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, pleasure.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah. Thank you.